This video is an excerpt or an extract from In Conversation with Trevor. It is just a snippet that was posted by the CEO of Securico. This resonates with what our political space is, especially in the opposition. I want you to listen with me together this video, and then we get context. And then I'm going to talk about what I see in the scenario that the opposition and Zimbabweans at large find themselves in.
What lacks in the organization is what is called psychological safety. This is the freedom to disagree. Allowing people the freedom to say, Trevor, I don't think the strategy works. And you walk away and go and think about it without punishing the person who has actually raised the concern. Okay? Even if you go, Google did a big study called Project Oxygen. And in that particular study, they found that all this team building that you got people going for team building, for me, it's a waste of time. As long as psychological safety is not there, you go there. I'm sure for those that have gone for team building, you go there, you come back, you go very excited in Nyanga and Vic Falls, you come back. When you come back, you are back to square one. You know, you are back to reality. That's what you see. But if there is psychological safety, we put things on the table here. Yeah. Regardless of level. If you're in a meeting, let people put their views on the table. And the views must compete for authenticity and credibility.
So you're saying team building is a waste of money and time?
If psychological safety is not addressed, you must read the book called The Fearless Organization by Amy Edmondson. That book lays bare. For example, if you look at the Fukushima disaster, what happened there is that employees actually knew what the problem was. But they were ignored. They had no platform to be able to air the concerns. The Boeing problem, remember, there's the 737 MAX.
Yeah.
If you read the report, it's the same thing. It's people, there is actually a conversation of the pilots talking about the problem because the plane was going up and down. And they actually, it was captured in their conversation in the post-investigation. So when the pilot was asked, why are you not telling this to your boss? He said, look, it's career limiting. And most people are holding off the ideas. Because if they put them on their table, it's career limiting. And so they will let you go. Have you ever been in a meeting where everyone agrees with you? Then the moment they walk out, they say, Trevor is crazy. This will not work. Okay. The moment you find after every meeting, there are more conversations outside the meeting, it's an indication of no psychological safety. So if organization could build psychological safety, problem number one would have gone.
This is resonating with our situation in Zimbabwe. Opposition in particular. There is no psychological safety in opposition and in the ruling party. Why do I say that? There is one thing that I want us to look at, which is, are really people safe to say whatever they want to the leader, whether it be Nelson Chamisa or ED Mnangagwa or Vice President Constantino Chiwenga, whoever is at the helm of leadership? Are they free to express themselves in such a way that they are ready to be listened to? That is the first thing. How many times did people, like, for example, Monzora spoke about this and said, if there are no reforms, it's a waste of time going into elections in 2023. Dedi Hope spoke about this. If there are no reforms, it's a waste of time going into elections. Even Apostle Chiwenga mentioned this and said, if there are no reforms, it's a sheer waste of time. Even the likes of Morgan Komichi, a waste of time. But how did people, were people labeled? They were told that you don't have a vision. God is going to do it whether you like it or not. Which is a psychological statement that makes one to say, okay, if then God is in charge, then who are we to say? So the critical questions that Hopo Shingono is talking about that in the opposition, and I've also asked the same questions on this platform. If you go onto my videos, you have seen how much I have blasted Nelson Chamisa and Triple C that they need to get their act together. How many times did people were told about the structure? But when people do that, they do what is called the strawman fallacy. They opt for the strawman's fallacy, whereby they go to say, but mind you, Nelson Chamisa, under these sham elections, we've managed to win these kind amounts of seats. We've managed to win A, B, C, D. And the issue is, that's not the point. The point is, were people free to express themselves about the issue of the voters' roll? Were people free to issue themselves about the plan of action of what needed to be done in time in order to stop the rigging? There was assurance that was given. You saw this headline on the Newsday that they said ZANU PF has no rigging. There is no room for rigging. But was that assured, or it was just politicking? So these are the things, these are critical questions. The reason why you see, for example, a very good example, 2 weeks before Mugabe was ousted on power, 10 provinces in Zimbabwe, they voted for Mugabe to remain the president who was going to contest in the 2018 election. 2.5 weeks after, in fact 3 weeks after, ED Mnangagwa was voted by the same province to be their president of 2018. The issue is, a lot of people in ZANU PF were so unimpressed with the way how things were going, but they couldn't say it. The reason why we saw the army tanks or the soldiers happy, and we saw these people from ZANU PF celebrating at the ZANU PF headquarters on the day when they recalled Robert Mugabe, it shows you how much lies people tell each other in front of other people, but at the back they are saying otherwise. So it's a problem that we have as a country. It's a problem that we have as a nation. It's not just a problem that we have in Zimbabwe alone. It's a problem that we have worldwide. Yes, of course, there is need for people to have a leader who can direct. But in your own experience, at your workplace, or even at church, how many people disagree with what the pastor is doing or the path that the pastor will be taking? But because they fear that people will say this and say this, they rather be right with others, but knowing that what they are doing is wrong. And that, my friends, is catastrophic to a nation or to a generation. Because right now we have a generation that have lost faith in elections. It will be very, very difficult for people to be convinced that 2028 elections are going to work because of this issue of psychological safety, which is not guaranteed at a workplace, in an organization like CCC, organization like ZANU PF. That is not guaranteed. You are bound to see the same thing happening. People become so naive and paranoid, and they ignore facts, but knowing that we're headed for a crash. Thank you so much for watching. Tell me what you think about this video. Does it resonate with you? Do you think that people are still naive, or are they not being realistic? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section. I'll see you in the next video.